Well, I guess my first question for you will be, I mean, did you expect the reaction you got from that post?
We didn't, but we appreciate the discussion. So we've actually had posts like this that are kind of having fun. Our social media manager saw this song and thought, hey, that might be a fun way to connect with some of these things. And we've done posts like this over the last several years. It goes back to 2020 when we actually first started doing SEA as our second reference to the airport. Still number one, proudly Seattle-Tacoma International Airport. That's our full name. You see that, even here on my jacket. It's that second reference, though, is what we were looking to be more global for us. And then this year, we actually were looking to put some more out for that because we're inviting the world into the region with the World Cup coming up. A lot of those folks don't know what TAC is. They don't know Sea-Tac. It may be a very local thing, and you're going to find people all over the place that do know it. But the reference that we've gone into with a lot of our marketing is to use SEA not only from an airport industry standpoint that's recognized, but around the world. That's what you see in bag tags, you see it in your tickets, you see it when you use search engines when you're looking for Seattle.
And this has sort of been an industry-wide thing. There's a couple other airports that have kind of going through the same struggle.
It is, you're right. I know St. Louis is a big one. I was in connection with my counterpart with them years ago. They actually had a large whole program where they had to change it, and part of theirs was they had a different name that was more of a localized aviation name that as the years went by, some of the folks in the region didn't even know who that person was anymore. So they went back to what a lot of airports have done is go to their airport code. And some of them are easy and some of them aren't. LHR is one that we know as an industry, that's London Heathrow. But that may not necessarily be the way people think of London. They'll think of London Gatwick. That's how they might separate two runs. We all know LAX, SFO, JFK. Some of those are easy because they're off of names. DFW, Dallas Fort Worth, those kinds of things. But more and more you're seeing that even in advertisements, the way people market themselves, Charlotte, CTL, those kinds of things. Those are the way in which people are easily identified from around the country or around the world.
So is Sea-Tac verboten for employees here?
No, it's not. Again, we're understanding and we appreciate the discussion that's going on. We are not going to turn down our customer service. It's still going to be great whether you call it SEA or some other name. So that's what it's all about, quite honestly, for us, is we want to make sure that people get that customer service and that experience as they come through the airport, and it's all for making it easier and making it more approachable. We used it actually early on to actually relabel a lot of our customer service kiosks. We had more information pieces that are on. We can walk by some of those there too. So our information spaces where our pathfinders, our volunteers sit, those have SEA on it. Their shirts have them. I've got mine here. We've used that as a connection for folks, and people see that as the way to, okay, now I'm going to reach out to that person in green. That's been our favorite color at this point, and get that help that they can to help access them throughout the airport.
Right. Regardless of what the name or the moniker, you guys have a really big few years ahead of you here.
We do, and we've actually had a really big few years behind us. That's one thing that I want to remind of folks is that there has been a lot that we've done here. So let's not forget what we've done. The new end concourse, the new international arrivals facility have been open the last couple of years. What we've opened up here on the north end here with the Alaska ticketing space. The roadways project is going to finish here before the spring. Sea concourse expansion is going to open. We've done a lot to advance really from what was 1970s facilities to modern day. There's still some spaces that we still need to do an upgrade, but just like any house, if you're trying to upgrade your house and you're still living in it, and you got to do it room by room, you can only do each space one at a time. So we've got things in the future that we're looking at. S-Concourse is the next big thing. We're trying to figure out what we're going to try and do with that space. And then beyond that, that's just our upgrade SEA projects. The next step is what are we going to do to expand for a new north terminal. So that's our currently sustainable airport master plan. We passed the federal environmental review last year. We're going through the state review with that as well too. We're going to have some more public meetings that are coming up here this year for that. And then that will be the standpoint from, we turn those over then to the Port Commission and figure out project by project, how do we do that? We've got an idea of what project should come first because quite honestly, with our small footprint, we've got to move things before we can build new things on some of these spaces. Because we're not like Denver, we're not like LA or Dallas, where they've got a lot of space where they can just build a brand new terminal or a brand new fire department, or jigger their roadways and do that while everybody's using something else. When we do something here, our space is so, you're going to do it, you're going to be in the way of the operations that are happening right now. We still have to operate the airport. Our previous airport director used to like to say, it's like operating a open heart surgery on a distance runner during the race. You have to continue to be able to operate while all this is going on. And we certainly appreciate, especially during our north terminal space that we've had here in the last couple of years, because we've had a lot of construction walls up in the ticket area, down below in the bag claim. All of those are gone. We're thrilled with that, and we hope everybody really appreciates that. But that's the way you had to work to make it happen, because you still had to run the airport while you're doing a construction project.
Some of the numbers you said really stood out to me. I mean, it sounds like the demand, it's foot on the gas as far as demand here.
It is, and that's a big part of, people are still coming here. Whether or not we add or improve our facilities and the customer experience here at the airport, people are still going to come here. So even if the decision gets made not to do the north terminal, those people are still going to come here because this region continues to grow. We are a reflection of what's happening in the rest of the region. Those people are going to continue to come here as Seattle, Tacoma, Western Washington grows. How we manage them here at this gateway point as people come in is a key focus for us. We want to make this the best customer service we can have. If we don't get the chance to add another space from our master plan, then the main terminal is going to get that much more crowded. It's going to be harder and harder to have that comfortable experience. We've built up instead of out for our current spaces. Sea Concourse is going to be a great example. Central Terminal is a great example. We've added space up above because we can't make our concourses wider. If we do that, you're now encroaching on the runways. You're encroaching on a concrete structure of a parking garage that you can't move very easily. So we are one of the most constrained airports in the country by footprint. The amount of travelers that we have go through here, we are like 120 out of 120 of the top and middle airports based on how much passengers we put through the square footage that we have. So quite honestly, we're a little bit of I like to think of us as a little bit of that engine that can, the engine that could, because we've done a lot in this small space that we can't get away from and expand further, because we've got 6 cities around us for local cities that are impacted for us, and we're also paying attention to how that impact is as well too, and what we can do to help them.
I guess going back to the name, last question, were you surprised by the reaction to it?
I think we were surprised by how much it came just really quickly. It's one of several tweets or posts that we've done on various different social channels over the years, so it's not unusual. It's not the start of something. We've been doing this for 6 years, and we've had a really good reaction with folks, but we also understand if you want to call us by the other name, no problem. You don't have to say SEA, but we appreciate it if you're learning towards that way.
And you won't say Sea-Tac.
That's not where I'm supposed to be. Yeah. SEA. Sea-Tac to us is the city of Sea-Tac.
Okay.
And that's another point actually too, and that a lot of people don't realize,
Yeah.
is the city of Sea-Tac actually came to us a few years ago when we were trying to bring that together.
Yeah.
They got a lot with social media coming back to them. People calling them and saying, hey, can you help me find my lost and found bag I lost at the airport? Or can you help me with information on how to get my baggage? Well, actually, we're the city. And so they're like, hey, can you guys find a way in which to point that towards them?
Yeah.
That's very helpful for them as well, too. So they want to make sure that people know they have no hand in running the airport.
That's right.
They're an entity to themselves. Maybe the one thing I would throw out there is that, we're not unusual in this kind of, naming or branding kind of changes. We've seen it over the years with the sports stadiums in particular, the first ones to think of. How many times did we think of Safeco Field? That's now T-Mobile, or even Seahawks Stadium back in the day, to the various different names. It's changed. Key Arena, those things. Even places like Mopop. Many people don't realize that was Experience Music Project when it started. Right. So those things change and evolve, and that's part of what we're looking to try and do here to make it easier, and it's something that's easy to see, easy to read, and very familiar for folks.
And it's a slow process. You know this is going to take a long time.
Yeah, this is not an overnight thing, and we have no problem with people continuing to use the old moniker. You won't see it in our press releases, but feel free to use it if that's what's comfortable and that's what makes you recognize the airport. Go right ahead.